incredible career, Karmichael. Had incredible, mate. The youngest bloke to play at the Broncos, 17 years of age.
Yeah.
And, mate, you're still going. Incredible.
Trying to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to keep going. No, it's been a while. I think it's, 18 years ago since I made my debut for the Bronx. And, plenty's happened between sort of then and now. And still feel like I've got some good footy left in my legs. But, it remains to be seen whether or not I can, sort of make it back into the NRL level. But, I'm back in the league at the moment, mate, which is good.
I've got to say, it's pretty remarkable you're still going. Because I remember about a year or two into your career, mate, those kick returns, you just, mate, used to just charge, no self-preservation. And I remember watching and saying, mate, he's going to burn himself out early.
From the very first tackle, here he comes, trying to explode through. Karmichael Hunt answers the question. Karmichael Hunt, no fear at all.
Marked on the full by Karmichael Hunt.
Now watch him come back. Shows no fear. He just sprints into the line.
What was it? What was that about, Karmichael?
Oh, look, I sort of came in through the high school ranks with Benji Marshall, right? He was in my Queensland team, and we all know Benji and the amazing feat that he had, and I picked a little bit up off him. Preferred to dance around a little bit earlier in my career, but being at the back, conversation with Wayne about sort of catching balls on the full and then sort of just trying to advance the ball as far as we could up the field, obviously, so we could start our set closer to the opposition, to our try line, rather than our own try
So
line.
just bang.
So the instruction from Wayne was, look, stop mucking around with the ball at the back and just bring it back as hard as you can. So I just thought, geez, all right, well, the only way I can do that is sprint back, right? So,
mate, you did that.
I did that, and then it just, I don't know, it just came a bit of a battle between kind of myself and the defensive line.
Big
and
chases.
I used it as a way to probably get myself into the game, but also try and motivate my team. I came off second best quite a lot of times. I mean, test match, it was Joey's last test match up in Brisbane against the Kiwis in the Anzac test. I got knocked out by Frank Pritchard in the second half and couldn't remember most of the game, my test debut, but I didn't really change the style I played. I just continue to do the same, and I feel okay. My head's okay, but we'll see after football.
They're coming to get you.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's behind me, mate.
Thank you. Good on you.
That was
mate.
an ambulance after you drink the coffee.
Is it? That's a bad advertising. Both almond milk too.
Yeah. Are you on almond as well?
Almond too.
You look slim.
Mate, I know. What about those Broncos sides you went into, Karmichael?
Yeah.
It was just superstars. How did it feel 17 years of age going into that team?
Yeah, geez, very lucky, obviously. You don't really get to walk into, there's not a lot of kids that get to walk into a change room with Wayne Bennett as your head coach, Darren Lockyer, Shane Webke, Petro Sivnasiva, Brad Thorne. I could keep going. Then you got Alf sort of in the background helping out. To be a 17-year-old in that environment was quite overawing, to be honest. But at the same point, the standards that they set and then the standards they expected from a young kid, regardless of what type of hype you had or how many games you played, was you got to turn up and do your work and earn your respect. And I guess I'm grateful for those lessons that were, I guess, placed on me.
What was Wayne like with you? Like, what did he expect from you as a young guy?
Oh, mate, he, to be honest, I wouldn't use expectation as a word that I would pair with that early experience, you know what I mean? He just allowed me to be myself, protected me as much as I could, and I wasn't an orphan in that respect. Like every other kid that was in that building, Sammy Thaidays, Neville Costigans, he protected just as much as he protected me. I guess I just, for some reason, played some good football and gained some traction, and the news cycle was probably more geared around what I was doing in that first year, but putting a bubble around me, so to speak, protecting me from media, and then just allowing me to just be myself.
Okay, after that 5 years, the AFL come knocking. Did that blow you out of the water? Did it bowl you over that suddenly out of nowhere they've come and...
Yeah, well, I think it was 7 years, Matty, so you robbed me a couple
was it
of years.
7? Time goes fast when you're doing
I
good.
would have loved to pack that many games in the 5 years.
Right.
But no, I was looking to transition to play rugby, and then AFL came along. So just to cycle back to school, like I'd played league since I was 4, but played rugby at Churchy and the GPS up in Brisbane, and had a good experience there, and played a little bit of AFL as well, which is, I guess, why the AFL sort of came knocking.
You know, they offered the opportunity for me to, I guess, challenge myself in a different code, and I've let it sit with me for the last couple of months, and only decided recently that was a path that I wanted to take.
And like, no one begrudges the money they came. And you and Israel, for them, was important because, you know, they're trying to grow these two clubs.
For sure, yeah.
See, in the NRL, in the time you spent there, you had enormous respect. From, you know, ex-players, current players, media, fans. How tough was it then to go to the AFL and, you know, yourself and Israel, for you personally to have blokes just hammering you, ex-players, was that really tough?
He's gone from the NRL to the rugby.
You don't rate him, you don't rate this experiment by AFL.
Don't you?
I don't. I can read you this article, very nicely put together, but it's lip service, Croft, and it's a gimmick, isn't it?
No, I'm all
That's
for
what
it.
you think it is.
In the article here it says he's the $3 million man with a $3 drop punt. That's a bit rough.
That wasn't
Shane.
Well, no, I didn't say that. No, I would have said 3 cents, really, after what I saw. But
Karmichael, there's been a lot of speculation in the media all around Australia about, you know, the amount of money being paid to NRL players. Is that putting a lot of extra pressure on you starting your career?
That was tough, yeah, it was. I'd have to say it was more than what I expected. I knew I was going to cop some blowback, but in terms of the reasonings and my why for doing the transition and trying to see what was possible for myself, I knew that would sustain me, but I didn't realise how thick and fast the criticisms of me coming across would be, not only from ex-players and players that I played with in league, but then going over to a completely new environment and having your legends of AFL criticising the move as well. And then I kind of fought some of that within my own team as well, so which was probably the most toughest for me.
Well, I was going to ask you that because, you know, that's the thing about professional sport. A lot of people mightn't understand. Is sometimes you're going, like, I imagine with the Broncos, no problem, but in some terms, what people are being paid can be a bit of a tricky situation, and that's how it was at the Suns. Did they?
Not from a playing perspective. I mean, well, maybe unspokenly, there were some questions early on about, all right, what's his motives here? Is he coming for the money? Is he going to work his tail off? Is he actually genuinely wanting to try and make this a success? And I knew I would be able to sort of hold that at bay, and then with time, like my work ethic and then my intentions about trying to make a success of it and giving it my all would hopefully sort of appease those kind of opinions. But I think there was still some cultural kind of, if I can use the word, maybe some opinions where, like, I was an outsider coming into their game, taking a spot from one of their kids, you know what I mean? And although it was, I would say, like a political move from the AFL to get myself and Izzy in Rugby League Heartlands when they were trying to bring these new teams in to try and obviously boost, I guess, the media coverage around it. There was that aspect too.